then.
What can you make that?
Okay,
equal?
so what we're doing today is actually really similar to long division from yesterday. We are just adding on a little bit of a piece. Well, no, we're not adding on a piece. We're doing it a different way.
Of the
Usually we
synthetic
add on a
division.
piece, but we're doing it a different way. So what we're doing today is called synthetic division. It seems like there's a lot of steps, but it's actually a lot quicker than last time.
Wait.
So your problems are not going to take 5 minutes like long division problems. So it works very similar to what long division is though. So I'm going to take x3 minus 14x squared plus 51x minus 54, and I'm going to divide it by x plus 2. The first thing we need to do is set up our long division problem, and it looks a lot different. So to start with, I've already got it set up. You take the coefficients of your first polynomial, so the piece that normally goes in the box. So normally this big piece is going to be in a box, right, if we were going to do long division. For synthetic division, we take the coefficients, which are the numbers in front of your x's, and we write them down in order on one line.
Can we do this for normal?
What?
Can we do this for normal long division?
Yeah, instead of, yeah.
Can we do this for last assignment?
No, because you got to show your work.
But this.
You would use a checker work, I guess. Okay, so x3, my coefficient was 1. Even though I didn't write it, there's a 1 there. Then I had negative 14, then 51, and then negative 54 at the very end. Okay, on the same line, I'm going to put a little box, which I've already got here, and inside that box, I'm dividing by x plus 2, right? We only use synthetic division when we're dividing by x plus or minus something. That's the only time you use synthetic. So you can't use it as much as long division, but it's still nice. So I'm going to take this plus 2 here, right? I'm going to flip the sign around and put it in this box right here. So instead of a positive 2, I'm going to go negative 2. Okay. I'm going to put it in this box. And these are the steps every time that you do it. So every time you set this up, you're always going to change this plus to a minus or a minus to a plus and put that in this box. Okay. We are going to bring down this first number 1 right here. We're just going to drop it straight down below this little line we got. And this is where your steps repeat. So you know how long division, it was basically the same thing over and over again. Same thing with synthetic division. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take what's in the box, I'm going to multiply it by what I just dropped down. I'm going to go negative 2 times 1 is negative 2, right? And I'm going to put it underneath my next line. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. I'm going to put it under here. And then I'm going to add straight down. Negative 14 plus negative 2 is negative 16. And I'm going to repeat what I just did. I'm going to take what I had in the box, negative 2. I'm going to multiply it by what I just dropped down. Negative 2 times 16 is positive 32. I'm going to put it right here, underneath my next line. Then I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to add straight down. So 51 plus 32 is 83. And I'm going to repeat what I just did. I'm going to take what I had in the box, I'm going to multiply it by what I just dropped down. Negative 2 times 83 is 166, negative 166. And I'm going to write it up here under my next line. Right? Yeah. And I'm going to add straight down. And let's see, negative 54 plus negative 166, negative 170, negative 220. Yeah, negative 220. And then, do I have any more columns over here?
No.
So I'm done. Okay. So you know how when I did long division, my answers were like x to the third plus 2x squared and that kind of thing? My synthetic division answers are still like that, but they look a little weird when they look a little weird right now because I have to set it up like this. So I'm going to go through and look at this bottom line. This bottom line is part of my answer. This last number is my remainder. This last number here is my remainder. The next number over is just the regular number. The next number over is x. The next number over is x squared. And if I had more numbers, I'd keep going. This, if I have another one here, it'd be x to the third, the next to the fourth, the next to the fifth, and we just keep going. It always starts remainder, number by itself, x, x squared, and we keep going. So I have to actually write my final answer. I have 1 x squared. After I divide, I get 1 x squared. And then because it's a minus or negative 16, I can go minus 16x. And then because it's positive, I'm going to go plus 83. And this last thing is my remainder. So remainder, negative 220. So my final answer, after I divide, I get 1x squared minus 16x plus 83, remainder, negative 220. And this is my final answer afterwards. So this, I know it seems like a lot of steps, but they repeat. You do the exact same thing over and over again. So it gets to be pretty quick after a while. After you do these, you get pretty good at them. So I'll make sure everybody's got this down real quick. We're going to try another one. Got it right now? There. Alright, so we're going to do this next one. We're going to take x to the third plus 7x squared minus 38x minus 240, and we're going to divide it by x minus 5. So my first thing is I have to set up my synthetic division problem. So I'm going to take my coefficients in this first one and put them in a line. 1, 7, negative 38, negative 240. Then I'm going to put a little box out here. And inside the box, I've got x minus 5. I'm going to take the minus 5, flip it to be a positive 5, and put it in the box. And then I'm going to put a big line underneath it. And we're going to follow the same steps we did before. The very first time I do it, I always just drop down whatever my first number is to get a 1. And then the steps repeat. 5 times 1 is 5. Put it in the next line. Add straight down. 7 plus 5 is 12. 5 times 12 is 60. Put it in the next line. And the steps repeat. Negative 38 plus 60 is 22. Yeah, I think you're right. Or yeah, you're right. So I add it straight down, and then we repeat. 5 times 22 is 240. Put it in the next line. And we add straight down, and we get 0. And there's no more, I don't have any more columns, so I'm done now. Except I need to actually make my answer. So remember, it always goes, you always kind of look backwards. This number on the right is always remainder. This is always just a regular number. The next one is always x, and the next one is always x squared. So my final answer after I divide this is 1x squared plus 12x plus 22. And I don't have a remainder, so I don't need to write it down. This one a little nicer than yesterday's?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to do
I guess
some random ones. What?
I kind of like yesterday's one.
That's fine. We're going to learn them both.
This one just seems really stupid.
It's quicker. You can't
Oh,
use
go
it
back,
as
go
much.
back, go back.
Alright, alright. Not bad. Not bad.
It's like too simple to be true.
It is, huh?
That's why I don't like it.
It's too easy.
Yeah.
On something cover. It's weird, man. Alright, we're gonna do, you got it, James?
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna do some random numbers here. And you guys are gonna help me out on this one. Zeros, get out of here.
What's wrong with zeros?
Thinking zeros, we'll talk about those later. Oh, and I think my X got covered up. Huh.
There's no X.
Apparently I forgot to write it down. There's an X right here, I promise. I totally promise. Okay? So, I need to start off by doing what? Oh, I don't know. Jaden, what's the first thing I gotta do for this?
Bring down.
What?
Or bring down.
Alright,
Bring down the 5.
what am I gonna write?
5.
Yeah. Okay, keep going.
Bring.
What?
8.
Don't forget, negative 8.
Negative 8.
Okay, keep going.
2. Negative 5.
Okay. Raven, what am I gonna put in the box right here? 2. Remember, we flip whatever the plus or minus here is, because it's always gonna be X plus or minus something. You flip the sign and then put that number in the box. Okay?
Isn't that me? Oh, no, you flipped the side, that's right.
What?
Nothing.
Alright, we're gonna keep going. What do you got there?
Is anybody in here interested in golf, baseball, softball, or track?
Baseball. Golf.
Golf, yeah.
Golf.
Girl?
Golf.
You actually gonna play this time,
Tommy?
Okay.
Tommy said baseball.
I did not. I said no such thing.
Throw a shot put or something.
Oh,
Do some tracks.
Tommy
I
said
just
tennis.
broke this.
Isn't the first
Better
one
use that
one?
construction class skills and fix it.
I'll be right back. First number.
Alright, so we've got this problem all set up now. So we gotta keep going through and Carissa, what's the first thing we do after we set it up now? We take this first one, we just drop it straight down. Okay? Maya, what am I doing next? Yep, and then I put it,
Oh, because these ones have
Okay.
always been one.
Alyssa, what do I do next?
You hear that sneeze?
Close.
Bless you.
We already multiplied
Oh my
to
god, I
5.
don't know what to do.
Okay. We did 2 times 5, we got 10, and we put it on the next one.
Oh, it's like 1,
10
4, 9, 5. You know, I guess.
So what do we do? It's negative 8 plus 10. Okay. Austin, what do I do next?
You multiply 2 times 2.
Yep, and get
4.
Oh, it's a negative 8.
for the next one.
Dang it.
You want me to do this one?
Alright, what do we do next, Dathan? Oh, I guess.
It's a negative 5. Oh.
Throw your whole problem off?
God,
Yeah.
Yeah, alright, what am I doing next?
Oh, wait, where you at?
Right here.
Add. So 6.
Add and get 6. What am I doing next, James? What am I doing next? Let him answer.
Times 2 by 6.
Okay, and where do I put it?
On the end.
So 2 times 6 is 12, I put it down here.
12 minus 5.
12. Then what? I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Add straight down. Negative 5 plus 12.
7.
7.
Yeah.
Okay? We don't have anything else, but we have to actually figure out our answer first. So Thomas, what is this right here?
Commander.
Remainder.
Number.
Jaden, what's,
Oh,
no,
sorry.
I already started with, Devin, what's this next one?
I couldn't figure it out. I was trying to just
I didn't
name
see
things.
that was negative.
What's
I just
6
looked at the
in
numbers.
my answer?
Okay.
I didn't hear you.
What's 6 right here in my answer?
Oh, it's just the number.
195 is
Number. I'll finish it off because you guys only answered. 2 is x, 5 is x squared.
I didn't even
So,
know you guys were
this is
at.
going to equal
Ronaldo.
5x squared plus 2x plus 6, remainder 7.
Can we get one more now?
Yeah.
Can we go to class or ecstasy gates?
We can do it in class.
Take it, take
We can do it in class. It's going to be random though.
It is random.
Let's go to this one.
What is
No.
the theorem?
Actually, we might, but I'm going to show you one thing.
The
What?
remainder.
Actually, no, we're gonna do an A class.
Other words.
What?
So I already got a quarter.
Alright, everybody got this down? James, you got this down?
Yep.
Alright, you guys are gonna do this one as an in class, but we are gonna, I'm gonna help you get it set up first before you try it. So I'm gonna get some random numbers going.
Dude, I really hope we don't have to go to zero shop on Friday.
We do.
Yeah.
I think we do.
Alright,
Really?
Yeah. It's either next
So,
week or the week after.
I am gonna start you guys off.
Why?
So when I look at this, I have 3x to the third,
No.
and then plus 4x, and then plus 1. Do I have an x squared in here?
No.
So when you do synthetic division, and we kind of skipped over this part of long division, we can't just skip and go from x3, x to the third to x. I have to fill in here plus 0 x squared. So I can't just skip an exponent. 3, 2, 1, regular number.
What is dumb?
So I can't go through and just skip one.
Squared.
So when I set this up, I'm gonna go 3, 0, 4,
Wait, it's
and
tox.
1.
Tox. Tox.
So I want you guys to do this one on your own, now that we got it set up. Divide using synthetic division. You're probably gonna get some big numbers, which is okay.
This isn't even
Yep,
the next one.
you're using synthetic division to divide.
I just forgot what I was doing.
So do it on your own. I'll go around and check. Maybe we'll have somebody do it on the board for us or something. We'll see. Well, let's take a little look.
104. Right?
4 times 52.
52 times 4.
Wait,
104. Yeah, it's 104.
Times 2.
208.
208.
I put 280.
What was it, Austin?
What?
104?
208.
11 and 12.
4 times 52?
He said it.
Oh.
208.
don't know how to do this anymore.
This whole process is here you're dividing by
I got this far and I got stuck.
because this is a way of dividing. Even though it's got times inside of it, it's still a division problem. So the step,
I do that shit for free.
that's the step that you're supposed to do.
Don't worry, we can go to,
And then the next.
I'm back.
Oh, that's not weird. Okay, don't let them cheat.
Okay, keep going. You're gonna get some big numbers in this because I didn't put any negative when we showed that up, but that's great.
There's 2 jackets there. Is this correct?
Yeah, one of my dad's jackets too. It looks like one of those dads that are taking their kids to his Little League game. Rooting for his child,
Hell no.
playing left fielders.
I mean, there's supposed to be more. 'Cause
I don't know about that.
Nice kid's the bat boy.
So we got water.
Remember, as you go through this, you're gonna get a big remainder, so don't worry about that.
Oh, that parent?
Is that parent?
I hate that parent.
You're that parent that leaves and leaves your kid.
umpire for calling going out, even though he's got like 10 feet.
One doesn't even play baseball.
Exactly.
So you said
To
he
give you a remainder.
didn't he for a little bit?
One never played baseball. He played soccer.
No, he did play baseball, dude. I swear he did.
Dave, did you finish this off yet?
Who plays?
He played for Orioles. No, I got stuck.
I played for the Orioles.
Brad?
Oh, it's you.
Every year I've played, I think we've been to like.
Well,
I want to see you at that.
Okay.
And we
Very
won a
first
lot.
thing is you
Our team
always
was
start
stacked
on the
everything.
first
I
one.
haven't played baseball in
And
like.
then Babe Ruth, I was like Chris Large,
Sure, before.
Sean Yeager's team.
4 times 3.
What do I got?
You were on the White Sox.
Dev's on
That's
White
right
Sox.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's not suck.
Hey, James.
Oh, yeah.
remember when I
remember that.
twice in a row?
I was on
now.
the Dodgers.
Oh,
4 times
was
12.
it you? It was
I was
someone.
on the Mariners.
He was on the White Sox.
That's what it was. It was either you or you.
48.
So,
White Sox.
yeah.
48.
He was on Grayson's team.
And I had straight in.
Oh God.
I only played 1 year Dodgers.
I did too because of my birthday. Oh yeah, you were again
4
too.
times 52.
I played AAA like 3 times.
Yeah.
And then majors.
Right there.
all 1 year I was supposed to be majored,
Add straight down.
and then I broke my arm. So I missed the whole season.
Okay. So you got everything you need. You need to make your final answer.
I played
So
baseball
what's
for
12
11
by?
years. That's most people's lives, right?
What?
That's actually a long time.
What?
11
9
years?
Yeah, and then that's my,
I played 11.
I played
number.
I never played
finish,
too well.
finish it off now. Wait,
13.
what? How do I,
Both
just
are.
rewrite it?
Yep. So write it out as
Well-
one long polynomial.
X.
11. Yeah, I played around 11 years.
Go back. This is a number, right?
I was gonna play freshman year, but
X squared.
6
So
of
you're
them.
gonna go 3
Oh, that was good.
Plus
plus
12.
12x plus, and then remainder, just put capital R.
talk to Algebra 2, read proficiency,
2 and 9.
finish.
Quit reading my to-do list. It's weird.
Alright, you guys all got this right, so we're not gonna go over it.
Programmed.
Okay, one last thing we're gonna look at, it'll be pretty quick. So, one reason synthetic division is nice is because of this remainder theorem. And it says, if you divide a polynomial, which they call p of x, of degree n is greater than 1, so in other words, if you take a polynomial, your biggest exponent is bigger than 1, by x minus a, then the remainder is p of a. Or in other words, what this means, if you take a polynomial and you use synthetic division to divide by a single number, the remainder is the same thing as if you plugged in the single number for x and then evaluated. So, if I am going to take x to the 5th minus 2x to the 3rd minus x squared plus 2, and I want to know what is the p of 3, or what, in other words, if I plugged in 3 for x, what would I get? Instead of going 3 to the 5th minus 2 times 3 to the 3rd minus 3 squared plus 2, I'm plugging that into Desmos, I can use synthetic division. And I can set up synthetic division where I put 3 in my box. And then I'm going to fill out my rest here. 1, do I have an x to the 4?
0.
Oh, so I got to put 0 there. So I can't skip it. X to the 5th, x to the 4, x to the 3, x to the 2. Do I have just a regular x?
No.
No, so I got to put 0 again. 2. So in other words, if I want to find out what is p of 3, instead of plugging in a 3 for all these x's, I can use synthetic division. And whatever I get for my remainder, whatever I get back here for my remainder, is the exact same thing as if I evaluated p of 3. So it's kind of a, maybe not a shortcut, but maybe it's a little easier to just use synthetic division instead of trying to plug it in and do it by hand. If I said no calculators, yeah, this is what you do. So if I was going to do this,
Ow.
I drop down my 1,
Work samples, right?
3 times 1 is 3, put it right here. 3 times 3 is 9. 9. Keep going. 3 times 7 is 21. Keep going. Let's see, 20. 3 times 20 is 60. And keep going. 60 here. 3 times 60 is 90. What?
3 times 60.
60 is not 90, is it?
Oh no.
That's 3 times 30.
Yeah, it is. I mean, what? 90? What are we talking about? 3 times 60 is 180. Add straight down, I get 182. Alright, this is my remainder, right? 182 is what I would get if I were to calculate this right here, where I plug in 3. So P of 3 equals 182. So I can evaluate functions or evaluate polynomials by using the synthetic division and plugging in that 3 in my box. When we do it like this though, we don't change the sign. I only change the sign when I have a parenthesis x plus or minus something. That's the only time you change the sign. This is just P of 3, I put 3 in the box. Alright, I want you guys to try.
Oh, God.
You guys want to try one of these or you want to just do your exit ticket, which is like this?
Exit
Exit
ticket.
ticket.
Alright, That wasn't an option.
My
Okay, do your exit ticket then.
Where's it at?
On
Vegas.
right
Oh.
here.
What?
We don't have that.
Yeah,
We don't have that.
Oh, that's right, I changed it. Your exit ticket's on the board.
God damn.
That's right, I forgot I changed it around, I printed it different. So, given f of x equals 4x to the 4 minus 8x to the third plus 2x minus 4, what is f of 2? So, you're going to use synthetic division, and you're going to plug 2 in the box. I'll give you that much, man. So, go through, do this problem. I will turn on Socrative and put your homework on Google Classroom.